So once again, my name is James. I am the head of product adoption here at PushPress. And every week, on Thursday, we like to cover a specific topic or a specific segment, either of our core services or just kind of industry in general. And something that internally at PushPress that we've been kind of gearing up for is, let me actually start this presentation here, is year 2020, right? So kind of look at it, we're under 2 months away from the new year. And January 1 is typically a really busy season for gyms, regardless of what space you serve or what niche you serve. There's typically a huge spike January 1. So when it comes to like planning and making sure, you have your operations and budget in place and staffing and whatnot, that planning should have already started. But if it hasn't, start it now. And this is part of what we'll talk about today. And, as we kind of dive into this, we're going to tailor it obviously to websites and landing pages. But, start thinking about that if you haven't yet already. Going into, the holiday season, now is when you, especially before, Christmas, Thanksgiving, some of the bigger holidays, make sure you start getting those plans in stone now, or at least have a plan of action going forward. Let's see. All right. So kind of going along those lines, a couple of things that, you would talk about or at least kind of plan for, just make sure you do this now, right? And so a couple of things that we've identified, and I'm sure this applies to a lot of different businesses in our space, is programming, what type of classes you guys offer, what kind of direction you guys are going to go for. Promotions is a big thing, especially when you have a lot of eyes on in that January season. That's when your ad spend, I wouldn't say it would get you a lot further, but it'll be a lot more important to be visible and make sure you have strong promotions and things that we'll talk about in this presentation today. The other thing is, kind of evaluating your staffing. Do you guys need to hire more, hire less? What your optional capacities are? General goals for 2020 for your businesses. So just making sure you've got something guiding you for the rest of the year. And obviously budgeting, and there's a ton more that we can dive into. But for the purposes of keeping this within, 30 minutes, what we're going to do is kind of focus on more the promotion side and specifically websites and landing pages. All right. So like I said, we do have a guest presenter today, and her name is Maddie, and I'll be introducing her in a bit. But she is really, really versed in websites and optimizing websites for high conversions. And so before we kind of dive into that, going back to really what a website's purpose is, specifically for our businesses, it should be to capture and convert leads. There's a lot of websites out there, and I come across a ton of them where there's a lot of different buttons. It highlights coaching staff. It highlights, there might be a bunch of member-facing buttons on your website, but really your members are already being served at your facility. Obviously you want to make sure your website does a few basics like, publish your calendar and whatnot, but at the core of it, you're really trying to attract leads and convert them, really trying to get them to sign up for something, right? Let's see. And so how do you create a high converting website? Well, there's a couple things you can do. First thing is you can hire a website ninja. This is someone who just knows the ins and outs of websites. And so if you can't, we have a guest for you today who will give her tips. And this is Maddie. So Maddie works for us at PushPress, and she heads up our entire sites department. So she's the go-to person when it comes to evaluating, designing, and optimizing websites. Let me chime her in here. Give me 1 second. And list. Let's see. Maddie, you there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
See, where are we? Sorry, guys. This is the first time we're chiming in the second person, so a little error on our side. Give me 1 second to get Maddie in here. to rearrange this? Okay, give me a second.
Cool, Dustin can hear me.
There we are.
Can you
Hi,
see
Maddie.
me?
Yeah, we can see you and we can hear you.
Cool, awesome.
Perfect.
So hello everyone. Thanks for having me on Fuse. Again, my name is Madeline. I handle the websites department for PushPress. And today I'm just going to be talking about 3 easy tips to follow that you can make your website more effective. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Give me a moment.
So we're totally newbies at this webinar thing, guys. Bear with us. Part of our plan for next year is to be just rock solid pros at this whole production side of webinars.
All right, let's see. I think I got it. Almost there. All right. Can everybody see that? Can you see that, Fuse?
Yep.
Cool. All right, so let's get started. So what I like to tell my clients to start is, one moment. All right, to visualize your website as your virtual storefront, right? Because essentially that's what your visitor is doing. They're shopping for a program or they have some kind of issue that they want you to help them with. So the top 3 things that your visitor wants to know when they visit your website is what you do, what you can do to help them, and what they need to do to join. So the tips that I'm going to give you are kind of touch on every one of those questions, and hopefully that keeps your client more engaged. So tip number 1 is, do you have that clear main heading? And I know that this seems pretty obvious, but a lot of the times I'll log on to somebody's website and all I see is a picture of the facility and just a name of the gym, which is fine, but you want something more captivating, right? Because again, they're visiting your website because they have some type of issue that they need help with. So some easy tips to follow to get a more effective heading is, so you literally take the phrase, "we help you," and then you'll insert that main problem that you want to solve for your client. So for example, we can take, "we help you reach your fitness goals in a supportive community," and then in turn, you would remove that "we help you." So that gives you your tagline, right? That's a lot more catchier than just having your gym name and just a picture of your facility. And hopefully that helps to clarify exactly what you're going to do to help your client. And then number 2, do you have that easy 3-step process that is easy for them to visualize how easy it is to do business with you? And again, this is just step 1, step 2, step 3. And this is important because it helps them visualize a path to success, right? They found your website because they want to gain muscle, or they want to lose weight, or they're training for a half marathon, so they want to work on endurance. So what are those easy 3 steps that they need to take to join your gym? And some easy tips to create that is, step number 1, you want to tell them exactly what it is that they need to do. So if you offer a free consultation, then step number 1 would be schedule your free consultation. And right below that, just a brief description of what that's going to entail. And then step 2 would paint a picture of that path to success. So you want to make sure that you let them know that you're their guide throughout their journey, their fitness journey. So if you offer weekly check-ins or monthly check-ins with a coach, step 2 would be meet with a coach. Again, just a brief description underneath that explaining what that entails. And then step 3 would be to paint a picture of that success, right? So if you celebrate mini PRs or major milestones, step 3 would be something like celebrate success. You want to let them know that they're going to be successful by joining your gym. So number 3, that clear call to action. And this is the number 1 mistake that I see on gym websites. The most common one I see is click here for more information, or read more, or find out more about us. And those aren't necessarily bad, but this button is what's going to get your clients to act, right? The end goal here is to have your client join your gym. So let me give you some tips on that. So you want to make sure that it's actionable. Again, read more versus schedule your free consultation is a lot more actionable, right? And does it stand out? A lot of the times I see that call to action get lost among all the other things that you have on your homepage. So make it a different color, have it be a bigger font than your menu. Again, you want it to stand out. And then another mistake I see is that they're not all the same. So it gets lost amongst all the other clickable options on your website. So you'll have like, click here to find out about our coaches, or learn the history about CrossFit. Again, you want to make sure that they see that call to action, because that's what's going to get them to join your gym. So just to summarize, that clear header is really going to explain exactly what you do and what you can do to help them. And then that 3-step process is going to help them visualize how easy it is to do business with you. And then that clear call to action is just going to make it obvious as to what they need to do to join their gym. So if you guys have any other questions, or want to jump on a call with me because you need help with your website, you want more tips, just log on to sites.pushpress.com, and I'm more than happy to help you.
Sweet. Thanks, Maddie. So shameless plug. Yeah, Maddie heads up our sites department, and if you just want some feedback on your website, definitely hit her up. Give her a reach. Take a look at your website and see how we can help out. Maddie's website service is super top notch and really turnkey, and that's what her entire project and her department is really set on, is making sure that your websites are turnkey, and that it's really hands off, so you can focus on some of the things that you're more effective at, which is driving a business. Most of us, at least I know for sure, I'm not a website guru, so I'd be spending months trying to perfect a website that Maddie can build and her team can build in a few days. So thanks, Maddie.
Thank you. Thanks, Fuse.
You're welcome. All right, so let's kind of dive back into this. Give me 1 second to reshare my screen. All right. All right, so we're back here. So kind of the big takeaway from Maddie's presentation is just making sure that it's easy for clients or for leads to sign up, right? And we're just going to explore that specifically in regards to how we can leverage landing pages. So there's a ton more that obviously you can do to optimize your website, and that's where Maddie's expertise come in, but that's beyond my pay grade. So what we'll focus on today is really just how we can optimize or leverage your landing pages to be able to help convert those leads, right? So with the design of the landing pages in PushPress, you'll notice that there's a singular focus, right? So when you're looking at the landing pages, which we'll examine here in a bit, there's nothing else on these pages other than a description of what they're signing up for, some input fields to be able to input their basic contact information and or billing information, and then a sign up button. That's it. There's no distractions on there. Secondly, it's branded, right? And in a very simple way. We have your logo, we have your main color on there. And that's all done automatically as long as your settings in your PushPress system are up to date. And then lastly, again, the easy sign up, right? So they fill out their information. We're not asking for everything about them. We're just asking them for their name, email address, billing info, and that's it, right? And so we can kind of examine what that looks like. So here we have an example of a typical landing page, and you can see that, we're only asking first name, last name, email address, billing information, and then we're explaining to them what exactly they're signing up for. And so you notice too, this could fit right into your website because it has your logo, and then that customized, the blue color, that will be customized based on your your business's main color theme. And again, all that stuff, it happens automatically on the back end. So you can pull it right into your website or send a link. And then we'll show you guys different ways that you can utilize the landing pages. A couple of other pros about our landing pages is each landing page has a unique URL. So that means you can use it anywhere. And then with that, you can also embed them. So, if you're looking at other systems, some might have their sign-up process kind of embedded in their system, whereas ours is pretty much open source, and anywhere you can access the internet, you can access your landing pages, which serves a ton of purposes. So how do you find a landing page? So for PushPress clients, you would obviously log into your control panel, and then you log into your plan list. And you'll notice on every plan list page, there's going to be a view page button for your landing pages. Once you click on that, it'll open up a box that'll give you your URL. And this URL is custom for this specific plan. And then you can further customize it by adding specific start dates. If you wanted to add specific discounts on there, you can also customize it that way as well. So that serves a lot of purpose too as well, because again, you can now create a specific landing page for a client who qualifies for a discount and send that to them and then have them sign up, rather than them have to come to you, go through the whole process of adding them to the back end, qualifying for the discount, manually inputting their billing information. Again, the landing pages are the easiest way to get members into the system. And so where can you use landing pages? Again, we alluded to that a little bit earlier. The main place that I would definitely start is making sure it's embedded in your website. Again, you can create different buttons, you can create different pages, and I'll go through a quick example of that in a few slides here. Another useful place to use landing pages, at my facility, I have them all of my landing pages bookmarked on a tablet that we dedicate for sign up. So the typical workflow there is someone walks in, they're asking some questions. Hey, how can I join, or is there a free class? And then I have my staff trained up. So they'll just pull the tablet and launch the bookmark for a free trial class, and then it'll launch the landing page. And that can be a very quick way to sign somebody up versus having to resort to pen and paper, or, hey, shoot me your email address, I'll email you back. A lot of things can be possibly lost in that process. So having your landing page is bookmarked on a tablet that's ready to go at any given time will be a quick way to make sure you do capture that information on the spot. And then just because it's also, these landing pages are served through a link, you can text people these, you can email people these. So you're not limited to how you can utilize these landing pages. So we'll go over a quick example of how you can embed this. And again, another kind of shameless plug. If you're a PushPress client and you want PushPress to take care of your websites, we'll take care of all this for you. But for those of you guys who aren't that hip yet, no offense, guys. What you can do, I'll show you how you can embed this and how easy it is to embed it in a website. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab a plan URL, right? So I'm going to plans list, and let's say I'll grab this one here, view plan info, and then view page for the landing page. And again, this gives me the direct URL. So I'll copy this, and I already have a dummy site set up on Wix. And this is an old business that's still around. But this is pretty accurate representation of how much work it'll take. So you grab that URL, right? And then you go to your back end of your website. Whatever that dashboard is, there should be a pretty easy way to customize a page, either to customize where a link is pointed to, or embed a page. In this case, what we're going to use, we're going to embed our landing page in here. So if I go to change website address, Wix is pretty cool because they make it easy to be able to embed these pages. Just throw the link in here, right? And then it'll come up something like this, right? Obviously, that's going to be unique to the different website platforms that you guys might be using, but the concept should be the same. You can just grab the URL, dump it in your back end of your website, either create a button or create a page around it. And kind of going back to the same concept that Maddie touched to, was make it clear, make it easy for someone to stumble on signing up, right? Clear call to action up here, sign up. That takes them to, again, right to this page here where we can have them sign up for our trial plan, right? All right, so let's kind of dive back into, so we talked about bookmarking on a tablet. I don't have a tablet with me to show you guys, but the basic concept is on your tablet's web browser, just navigate to your push press system and start bookmarking all those pages for landing pages. And again, what I do on for my facility is we have a specific folder where all the landing pages are. So there's no question as to where a landing page might be or where everything's on our bookmark. I have a clear folder that says plans, and then just sign up on the spot. And each one is denoted by drop-in, free trial, unlimited, 3 days a week, some of our main plan offerings. And so if you haven't gone through that process, go through that process, even just kind of testing it out. You can see exactly how fast, how quick that process is. Another way that you can utilize this, the landing pages, is again through email or text campaigns, right? Just because the landing pages are built on unique URLs, anywhere you can plug that URL in and access the internet, you'll be able to sign a member up. So I personally have run ads and campaigns right to our landing pages, and the conversion rate there is pretty high because there's nothing else to do on that page, right? And so kind of going over a few things that you can do to leverage your pages is, we have some of these advanced capabilities for our landing pages, and those include redirects and passing URL parameters. So that may make some sense to some of you guys, and it might not make sense to others. But if we simplify this down, a redirect, all we're doing here is specifying, once someone signs up on this page, where are they being redirected to, right? Are they being redirected to a confirmation receipt, at which point their experience ends on the spot? Or once they sign up, should we direct them to your members page or to a part of your website that further explains what the next steps are? Again, that can be another tool to help convert members from not even just getting on your website and signing up, but from sign up to actually showing up, because that's where the real difference maker is, right? We want bodies in the door for us to be able to kind of prove what our offer is, right? And then the other piece here, let me show you from my help document. Oops. Is passing URL parameters. So for those of you guys who have an existing funnel, meaning you service ads and you might have a sign-up form somewhere or a scheduling form somewhere, right? What you might want to do to kind of, give me 1 second here. Oops. Sorry about that. So again, kind of circling back, for those of you guys who might already have existing funnels that work well for you guys, and you want to start making that funnel a little bit more seamless and easy to use from the leads perspective, what you might want to do is, say someone ends up on a scheduling page, right? Acuity is a good example, because we use that a lot. Have someone fill out some information in Acuity, and then you can pass their basic information into the landing pages. And so when we post this blog a little later today, and kind of wrap all this up, I'll include this link here for the help document, but what it shows you is how you can structure this URL, right? This would be a redirect URL that you would create on your, let's say, Acuity form, and specify that they should be pushed into this page, into this link here. You can customize it so it'll push all that information right into our landing pages. So when someone gets to this page here, their information is already populated, and the last thing they'd have to do is just input the billing info. So again, what we're trying to do is remove as many barriers to entry as possible, so someone can just visit a link, and then right then and there, they're registered or bought in or confirmed for something, right? And we've been focusing this landing page presentation on specifically just plans, but you can do these for pre-orders, you can do these for events. So there's definitely a ton of ways that you can utilize this. So I encourage you guys to explore this, especially as you're planning out your year for 2020. Figure out how you guys can start to leverage these landing pages to start converting more leads, maybe optimizing your website. And maybe this serves as also as a catalyst to be able to start cleaning up your websites, or at least taking a look at it from a different eye. And again, if you need any assistance or just looking for some tips, reach out to Maddie. If not, you can find us on our blog. It's just blog.pushpress.com. And we'll have a ton of good resources there. And that's something that we're working on developing for the next calendar year, is to just add a ton more content to be able to help you guys succeed, not only with PushPress, but in your business in general. You know, at our root, that's really what we're after, is to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to help you guys be successful. So hopefully that was helpful, and you guys caught on at least a few tips today. So, you know, kind of parting ways, just make sure you start planning for 2020 now, right? Along with that, just start optimizing your website. And the last bit is, you know, start to get creative with utilizing our landing pages to help just kind of standardize the process, right? Because they're landing pages, you can use them anywhere, and it's always the same type of landing page, same experience. It'll be a more consistent, more comfortable workflow for your coaches and your staff to be able to understand. And then from the members or lead perspective, it's just a no-brainer. There's not many hoops for them to jump through. It's just get to the page, sign up on the spot. So again, hopefully that provided a bunch of information for you guys. If you have any questions, we'll have this posted on a blog with a full replay of the video today, along with kind of a write-up of Maddie's tips. But if you have any questions, throw it in the Facebook group, or even attach to the blog. Shoot, you can always hit us up in the intercom chat. You know, every one of us at PushPress, we're always in that intercom chat, ready to support you guys. So if you have any questions, just give us a shout, guys. If not, happy Thursday. Thanks for chiming in. And we will be back next Thursday with a new topic and possibly a new guest. All right. Thanks, guys.